I think I'm live. Hello, everybody. Happy weekend, Zen friends. Hope you're doing well. Had a great week, having a great weekend, enjoying your moments, enjoying this wonderful retrograde and Mercury in the sign of Leo. Wonderful energies of turning inward, looking at what we're doing with our lives. It's a great reflective energy. Gives us courage to step forward with that energy. And are we being true to ourselves? And are we making decisions that align with that? A lot of great reflection over these next couple of weeks. So we can enjoy it or suffer through it. And neither is right or wrong, right? whatever we want to do, we can do both if we want, right? All right. Well, welcome everybody. What an intro, right? I just went off and blah, blah, blah. But let's bring in some beautiful love energy to start off today. We'll allow that love energy to flow in. I'll hit the singing bowl twice. And as we're doing that, just imagine that eternal, unconditional love energy filling us up, going into our brain and all of that thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and reflection into our emotions, flowing out into that, into all of our energetic meridians in our bodies, our chakras, our auras, and into our physical bodies, all of our aches and our pains. Allow it to flow into those, into our muscles and our joints and our organs and our blood and whatever it wants to do to help raise the love vibration of our being, and then flow out to the world. Let it do what it wants to do. There's a lot of wonderful opportunities to transform energy in the outside world too. So we'll send some energy for that. And as we're doing this, you can, if you want to immediately start raising your love vibration, just think of one thing in this moment that you're grateful for, whether it's having internet, having electricity, air conditioning, heating, depending on where you're at in the world, hearing, seeing, whatever it is, another day of life. Just one thing that you're grateful for. Just sincerely thank the Creator for it. It draws more things to be grateful for in. And we also opens us up for those messages. And it's gratitude is something that immediately starts raising our own love vibration. So if you want to join me in doing all that, any of that, you're more than welcome to. We'll start off by taking a big deep breath. Hold it for as long as you feel comfortable and then release. And then we'll start with the singing ball. Hit it twice just to prepare you. All right. So big deep breath in and hold. Here we are. So coming back to this moment, and let's begin. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. I'm just going to put her back here on her little shelf, her little throne to watch over us. All right. So welcome, everybody. So happy to have you here. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. We got a great group of Zen friends who are full of huge hearts and great senses of humor. Definitely two things we can use in this human adventure. So welcome, welcome. There's always room for more Zen friends. If you want to know how the whole process works, it's all listed in the description box of the video. We do prioritize donations first. So I step outside of all the readings to complete those. We dive deeper for those too. So if you're looking for the free readings are 1 to 2 cards and we get answers, but we dive deeper in for the donation readings. You can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. I do my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square, and I don't have a set dollar amount. So whatever you give from your heart, I know everyone's finances are different. Rates of exchange are different and all that. So whatever you give is perfect. And then we'll do that. And then when I'm done, I return back to the main channel. I'm on for 3 hours. Whatever I get through is what I get through. I will always finish all donations. Sometimes I don't get to a whole lot of free readings, depending on how many donations I have. But for sure on Sundays, whatever I don't complete in that morning session, I do come back in an extra session, a makeup session in the afternoon to finish out everything from that Sunday morning that I did not complete, including free readings. So if you try here and there and I'm not able to get to your free readings, be sure to come back on Sundays. We'll make sure to get a message. And it all depends. Last weekend, I don't think I got to a handful of free readings except on the Sunday afternoon session. Last night, I completed everything. I even finished it a little early. So, it all depends on what's going on. So there we go. We'll just flow with it. Today, I will be using this new Ocean Tarot deck. It's a beautiful deck. Has not Aquarius, Atlantean energy. Maybe that is Aquarian energy, but Atlantean energy. They talk about the Siren's Veil, looking into the Siren's Veil. The siren is those that, those mermaid-like beings that would sing songs. And so I love that. Also, if you make a donation, you get a fortune cookie. The first one is from the Art Therapy deck. It's a new deck I got. I love this. And then any additional donations after that will be from either this Affirminator little deck, or I might even dive into the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle for your fortune cookie. It all depends. We'll see what happens. But that's the skinny going on there. Blah, blah, blah. So hello, everybody. Good to see you. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Crescent Moon. Good to see you, too. Hey, Alice. Good to see everybody. Hope you're enjoying your adventures. We definitely have a lot of interesting energy going on astrologically. But remember, we have the power of choice. Being aware of the weather that's going on out in the outside world allows us to make choices, right? Every moment we make a mental, emotional, energetic, physical choice for our own lives. No one else's, thank God. We're not responsible for anyone else except for our own decisions, right? So enjoy that for sure. All right. So what we'll look here, let me tell you where we're at in donations so you just know how this is going to flow. And we'll get started. We'll start off here. Let's see, we got Crescent Moon ×2, so you'll be up first. And then Sean G via the CashApp. Yours came in second, so we'll have those two. And then Sudeshna, hello. We have 4 for you, so we'll do the 4. And then we make it to Alice. So Alice, you'll be up after that. So we'll dive in and get started here. Let me take a quick sip of my coffee. Cheers to everybody. Much love to all of you. All right. Excuse me. So I hope you can hear me all good. I've been experimenting with a new microphone. And actually have a new computer coming in. So coming in next week, you might notice the difference. It's I noticed that this computer I've had for over 7 years, and I didn't know a whole lot about computers, and I'm realizing I didn't have very much high speed and stuff, so we should see better things happening next week once I gets everything going, because I've been noticing things are slowing down and acting up. I'm like, uh-oh. So we decided to bite the bullet, as they say. So, you like the new setup? Thank you. I love it. Yeah, I got things situated and purging stuff. It feels good, doesn't it? All right. So, thank you. All right, Crescent Moon. let's timestamps. Let's not forget timestamps. So you are at 10:10 to start off here, Crescent Moon. Look at that. Already starting off with some wonderful synchronistic numbers. I do just for everyone. I At the end of each session, I do post a pinned comment listing all the readings with the timestamps, so you can come back and click on it and go directly to your reading, and you can see if I got to, especially free readings. If I don't get through them all, you can look and find your name. And go, oh, there I am. Click on it. It takes you right to your reading. So I love that. All right, Crescent Moon. Here we go. Insight from your favorite PI detective. You're so funny. I love that. Nosy read on S for today, tomorrow, and next week. All right, let's highlight that so I see where I'm at. And then we'll circle back around for number 2. So let's take a look here. So what's going on with S for today? What's going on in their life, right? I guess your second one is more about you or in them, right? So what's going on with them today? What about tomorrow, Sunday, or whatever tomorrow may be? Okay, and then for next week, what we got going on for them next week, right? I got those. I do want underline energy. Don't want those. I want this one. All right, let's see what we got going on. Their overall energy. We do have the 9 of Pearls, which is the 9 of Cups energy. There is a little bit of, 9 is like a hermity type energy, because 9 is the hermit card in the major arcana of the deck. So it's a little bit of alone, looking inward, a little self. What is this energy I'm feeling? What's going on with them around this period? It makes sense with all the Cancer. We're in Cancer season, all this emotion energy going, but they're really sitting with nurturing some emotion, really emotional reflection. I do feel like there's been something going on with a family member. I don't know if it's necessarily like death, or it feels like something has triggered them to remember someone who has passed. And it could be someone that's just kind of not doing well in their family, and so they've got all this kind of somber kind of energy, but it's turned them inward to really look at things too. And it's funny because I just had an eyelash that was there that just showed itself. So it's like they're looking, that old biblical, looking at the plank in your own eye before you look at it another one else's. It's like there is this self-reflection energy. That's funny. It's funny how that comes through. All right, let's take a look. So today, what else is going on with them today? We've got the 2 of Treasure, the 2 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Treasure, the 7 of Pentacles. So today is, again, this reflective kind of energy that's coming in here. And there is this, like, because the 7 of Treasure, Sun, Pentacles is like slowness. And they're really taking their time analyzing and looking into 2 different scenarios in their life. There's a decision that they've been contemplating for a while, and they've got it down to 2 directions, that 2 choices to make in the physical world, but they've been taking their good old time, and they're kind of spending today researching, looking into these options. Let's see what the underneath energy is here. And the 2 of Pearls does have to do with a close relationship with them. I don't feel like there's this, I don't feel like it's like romantic. It feels like it's an important relationship in their life, but it has to do with decisions around them. Maybe if they have to, like, if there is someone who's not doing well, if they want to, is it hospice? Is it home care? I feel like it's like a decision like that. That makes sense with all this somber energy. I almost feel like I want to cry, connecting with their energy. So I feel like there is this decision making that has to go on here. So he said, I'm going to get spot on. All concerned about their dad who hasn't been doing well. Ooh, I wonder if they're doing that trying to figure out what needs to be done with them, kind of energy, like they're making family decisions. And but it feels like that kind of energy day, really somber kind of energy. We'll send them. Let's send some love to them right now. Anyone that wants to join, we'll just send love to surround them, just so that, because our heart aches for people, and that helps. We'll just let their higher self do with that love that they need. Whew. Wow, deep energy there with them. All right, let's look at tomorrow, so I don't start crying here in front of everyone. Not that I don't. I would cry if it helped. But let's move forward. We do have 2 nights here. We got the Knight of Quarrel, which is the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Spears, the Thought. So tomorrow feels like a day of movement and action. All the night energy that comes in here. This is like this, psh, 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 you know, uh, decisions are being made in action. So I feel like today is like we have to decide, because tomorrow we have to take action on some choices, that I feel coming in here. The underlying energy is the sun, so that's good. It's positive, um, positive, abundant, full, warm energy. So it feels like the sun comes out tomorrow, which is nice. It's like Annie, the sun will come out tomorrow. Can bet your bottom dollar. So it feels like a brighter day for them, which is good. I like feeling the sun energy. It's like bask in that for a little bit. So good change of energies. Let's see what happens next week for them here. Let's look at the bottom underlying energy first. Yeah, we've got temperance energy, balancing energy, balancing of opposites. There is, again, slow progression. It feels like a slow kind of slow progress week, of things unfolding for them there. Let's see what else we have here. Queen of Pearls, Queen of Cups. So uh, a lot of emotional energy. It feels like mom energy here. Let's see what else we have here too. Nine of Coral, Nine of Wands. And we also have the Four of Treasure, the Four of Pentacles. So there is this home. I don't know. I feel like mom is still with them, but there's this barrier with the Nine of Wands and this perseverance. I feel like they're really helping mom through things, or whatever this divine feminine energy is. If it's not mom, it's sister. It's a feminine energy, a very emotional feminine energy that they're helping get through and feeling the security in the outside world. And it's slow moving. So I feel like kind of an exhausting. Okay, yeah. So it does feel like there is this exhausting kind of energy helping with the home. Um, just a lot of, it's like the week just feels like it takes forever, because I feel like they're working, and then after that, I mean, they're contacting and doing things throughout the day, and then after work, they're going and spending time doing things, getting things, preparing things. So it does feel like, that this home energy with the Four of Pentacles does feel like, rather than going to like a hospice or going to that they want to set up the home for them to be there until their end, um, because that's what mom wants, and that's what everyone wants. They're like, we don't want them to feel like they're being ousted into this place, and mom wants that. And so I feel like that's a lot of what's happening here. A lot of activity around this, in doing that. So I feel like that's their week. It's all devoted to this. It's like, all of this energy that's going on here. And I don't feel like they're taking care of themselves. I feel like the Nine of Cups is like they're focusing on their own emotions, but they're not. They're sacrificing their own peace of mind and rest and everything for the situation, which understandably so, but they also need to take a break and care for themselves. Um, and maybe that's next weekend. After things kind of get settled down and in place, they'll have time to just crash. So, yay, that's what kind of is going on there. Let's see what this art therapy deck, this is just for everyone can see it. This is a new deck I got, and it's amazing because it's about creativity. There's great questions that come with this. So this can apply for them, or the situation, or for us. If it resonates, we can all do any of these. These are amazing. We got number 7. Oh my gosh. Yeah. A good mess. That kind of describes it, right? To let go of perfectionism and expectations is the goal of the activity. The medium is painting, time commitment 30 minutes. So the instructions are: make a messy painting using acrylic paint and other materials you feel drawn to. Release tension by scribbling, splattering paint, or whatever you feel like you shouldn't do when making art. And the hint is, if using any optional materials, use the dry materials first or wait until the paint has dried. So that energy of creating a messy piece of art, it's like, it's not about perfectionism. And I feel like that's where they get stressed, is they're going to try to make sure it's perfect for everyone and everything. But the explorative questions are: how do you feel about making a messy painting on purpose? Did any critical voices come up? If so, how did you respond? And how would you describe your feelings after this exercise? They even show examples. Here's someone's messy piece of art. And it's like being okay with that. It's not going to be perfect for everyone. And I feel like that's a good, if you're able to give them messages and communicate that to them, that it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Um, and not everyone's going to be happy. It's okay. Do your best with what you're going through in the moment. So, wow, deep energy there. So that's what is going on with that one. Let's jump into number 2 here and focus. And it's good to know all that is going on before we look at what their intentions are towards you, which is for the second one. So thank you for your multiple donations, Crescent Moon. I definitely appreciate those. So let's dive in here. We'll take a sip. This is where we're going to get into more tea, right? So understanding everything that's going through with this, I've kind of want to tap into the energy of post them going through this next week and when the paint dries. This is kind of what I feel like I want to do, because I feel like if we tap into their energy right now, we're going to get chaos. We're going to get untrue thoughts and feelings towards you and all that, because right now I feel like there's a big, I'm pausing my life to take care of this, so everything kind of feels like it's all just their life is falling apart in a way. It's because they're not taking care of themselves and their own thoughts and emotions and all this. They're going through this emotional storm. So if we tap in with this thoughts towards you, then it's going to be it's going to change after it. So it's like, how do they feel right now? It's like, okay, it's like a house full of barking dogs. They're like, okay, it's unsettled, it's all over the place. So, okay, you said you agree. So let's do that. All right. So let's shuffle these up. Let's change the energy. Let's let that energy go. And let's step forward here to when the sun is out and the storm is past. That's the energy we're tapping into. Okay, here we are. So, what are their true thoughts and feelings towards you? So, true thoughts, let's take a look here. Okay. And then true feelings. I do want that one. I do want this one underneath here too. Okay. The number 2, when will they take action towards you? With phone, let's look at phone first based on post energies and in person to express them. All right. And in person. Okay. Just one for that. And what else do we need to know? I feel like we want these and these. And those two. Okay. All right. So we don't want to look at the bottom of the deck. We're just going to focus in on these. So thoughts and feelings. So thoughts first. What are their true thoughts here after this post? Yeah, we got the Star card along with the 3 of Pearls, the 3 of Cups. There is this energy. It's interesting that's coming through because the Star card is it's Aquarius energy. Which has an aspect of Aquarius is sometimes they forget that not everyone feels they're in the same bucket. Aquarius, interesting. I'm an Aquarius sun, so I totally get this energy that sometimes it's like the entire world is my friend. And I'm not aware. Aquarians are not aware of usually of that people feel they want special attention different from everyone else, including romantic interests and family and friends and everything. It's like, no, everyone is family and friends. And in a way, a partner of life. We're all in this together. They have this energy of community. And that's what the 3 of Cups is too, is this feeling of community. And so in their brain, they kind of have it all lumped in together. So if you understand, that's kind of where it comes together in their brain. And I don't know if they're Aquarius or if they have Aquarius moon or a lot of air, but there's this kind of energy that's about that they're kind of like their thought process. It's unaware of the special things that people want to experience with them until usually the awareness comes in when people are like, we need to talk. What's going on? What's the matter? Hello. So it's, hey, are you in there? What's going on? Let's look at their emotions. Let's get into their heart though. So that's good to understand. That's kind of, it's not personal. It's just kind of how they look at everything. Almost a little bit ADHD too, where it's interesting because we can forget about people, not because we don't care, because we're all focused on what's happening in the moment, not all the other people that, it's funny because sometimes it's like making a list. When have I contacted people last? So I can make sure I'm contacting people. That's almost the way it has to be. So it kind of feels like that's how their mind works. Let's look and see how their heart works, though. And we've got the 9 of Treasure, so the 9 of Pentacles. And we do have the Knight of Pearls, the Knight of Cups. So there is emotional movement that is here. And there is this, their heart kind of is in this, need to have alone time, but also wanting to have the emotional movement too. So they have that. Let's look at the underlying energy because we did want this here too. The 5 of Coral, the 5 of Wands, which is a transformational energy that comes in here. But I do feel like they're in a big time of transformation, especially after what they're going through and experiencing right now. I do feel like it's like their heart has mixed energy. It wants to be pocketed away, but it also is like, I got to live life. I've got to express love because you never know how long we're going to be here, right? So that makes sense with their mind and with their heart. But I do feel like they're it's an interesting combination. I wonder if they have like a Gemini moon, because it feels like their mind feels very air oriented, and their heart and like their moon energy would feel very uh, like dual energy, like it's their heart has a split personality, so that feels like Gemini energy to me. So it's interesting. So I feel like it is transforming, it is changing, and there is action. We'll see more here with what else do we want to know is when will they take action? Because I feel like they do want to take action with that, the Knight of Cups. So this is when they'll reach out to talk first. We've got the Fool card, this new beginning energy, and the King of Wands, too, that's coming in here. So the King of Wands with this is new energy, new action energy. The Fool card, looking at timing kind of energy, is um, at any time. It's funny. I think the Fool card is Uranus energy, like Aquarius energy too. It just feels like it'll happen out of the blue, um, just with the spark that happens here. Let's see what the underlying energy here is for that. Yeah, and the Hierophant. The Hierophant is also this energy of um, seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. But as far as when energy, it's like there's this uncertain energy right now, with this, but it's sudden because and this is like we're talking about with their brain, right? It's suddenly they'll come across something, and go, oh yeah, hey, they'll reach out kind of energy. Because it's about them being what's happening in the moment. It takes something, but there's like so many. The Full card is like all these possibilities of things that could happen and unfold, and they're not giving me like timing in here, with this. Let me see here. I was reading this actual deck. Look, you can tell I make my own list because the Hierophant, yeah, is more of a spring energy. So that doesn't feel right. And then, yeah, the Full card does have this spontaneity timing. That's the word I was trying to think, is just spontaneous. It happens out of nowhere and unexpected. That's based on that. So that's interesting. Um, Not a whole lot. Let's see what we get here. I mean, we've got all of these cards for in person. So let's see what this brings in. Maybe we'll get some more clarity here. Got the Knight of Spears. So the Knight of Swords, movement of thought and movement of communication. Temperance, which is another patience energy that comes in here. The Eight of Spears, the Eight of Swords. Let me see here. I just want to look at all these. We've got the High Priestess energy, which is a new moon energy. Because it feels like here with all these cards that it's like once you communicate, it's about, like they don't reach out just to go, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. It's like an action. It's like this spontaneous communication comes, and then they're like, all right, so let's make plans of getting together and do this and do blah blah blah. And so it's not like communication starts to come up. It's like, hey, let's go hang out. There's this thing going on, kind of energy. You got the Five of Pearls, the Five of Cups, with the Ace of Spears, the Ace of Swords, which is a lot of clarity. Um, I feel like here they they want to do something fun with all this energy, all this thinking. Is I want to get out of my head, and I want to get out of my sorrow, and I want to, do something fun. And that's the kind of energy that I feel is coming in here. They're like, I don't want, I need to temper all this stuff that's going on. I have all this stuff, this heavy stuff going on, and I need something on the other side of the scale to help do this. And so I feel like when they spontaneous, the communication comes in because they're like, look, I'm getting this. What is that from? Oh, from Charlie's Angels, when the one, the what is her name? The blonde, where she's like, tickets. I love tickets. That's what they're showing me in my head. It's like they get tickets to go do something fun, and they think of you. It's either something you like to do, or a band you like, or something, and they reach out and go, hey, I got tickets. You want to go hang out? Let's go to this thing. And that's what I feel comes in here. It's spontaneous though. So they're not giving me time, and I know. But when they communicate, it's like, well, when is it? Well, it's actually, I don't know if it's going to be like, well, it's tonight or it's tomorrow night. It might be like that quick kind of a thing, or because the tickets they get are out of the blue, they get them, and it's like really close to the timing of it. And that's the kind of energy that I feel is coming in here. Sorry that they're not giving me more exact timing. Just be prepared. You're like, I'm ready. What was it from, they communicate a lot through movies. A devil wears Prada. Gird your loins. Here she comes, right? It's like, gird your loins, be ready, because it will be kind of spontaneous and I feel like it's out of the blue to you. And that's kind of their MO with this situation. So hopefully that makes sense. And for your second fortune cookie, let's grab from the affirminators here. Let's see what we got here. All right, I'll do this one. So your fortune cookie for this one is forgiveness. Some good energy there. It says, congratulations, you're being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver, like Spider-Man, right? The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power. But remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. I love that. And there is this energy of letting go of expectations of, when it comes to them, especially, it's like not expecting them to be any different than they are. There's a great book by Mel Robbins called Let Them. And it's like letting people be who they are and letting you be who you are. Do you want to let them be who they are? And am I okay with those things? Or if there's something that I'm not okay with, then you let yourself be you and not accept those things and turn down invitations where last minute, I'm very much, I like things planned out. And if so, my friends know if they're like suddenly, hey, do you want to go do this? 99% of the time I'll be like, no, unless it's something I really, really, really want to do, or if it's someone that I haven't seen in a long time that I really want to see. But chances are, if you don't give me a day or two notice, it's going to be a no. If it involves crowds, they know probably not. It's probably going to be a no. They'll still ask, knowing, but it's okay to say no with things too. So hopefully that helps and gives a little clarity there, Crescent Moon. I feel like that's what they want you to know right now. So hang in there, and thank you again for your multiple donations. I greatly appreciate those. All right, so many blessings. All righty. So, let me continue down the list here. So we'll have Shanji for 2, Sudeshna for 4. We have Alice and then Miss K. Hello, hello. And then the Gemini. I do see 2 came in for you as well. So just to acknowledge that they're there so you guys know where you're at in the list too. All right. So Sean G, let's grab your timestamp. This is for 2. So times 2. Put that here. I know I remembered this time. I remembered last night too. After the first time, I'm like, oh, that's right. Let me imprint it in my brain. This equals this, right? Right. And Holly, thank you so much too. All right. So, Sean G, for your first one, and I think these were up here. Let me find you here. There it is. So, for your first one, Sean, so your cousin texted you saying your mother was asking about you. Oh my God. did I remember yesterday's reading? And they're bringing it back to me. It's like, if you don't talk to your mom, your inner child will bring it through other people, right? Here they are, right? You're like, oh my God. All right. So you want to know, you told your cousin, I don't care to speak to her. And she said she'd relay the message. So what are your mother's thoughts and feelings on the situation? All right, let's take a look here. So let's take a look. What is mama thoughts and her feelings on the situation? All right. This is below the surface. Let's see what's going on here. See if we can get any clarity on what's the dealio. The bottom of the deck, we do have the 6 of Spears, the 6 of Swords. Interesting energy of moving from choppy waters to calmer waters, letting go of some old ways of thinking, moving to new ways of thinking, old ways of communicating to new ways of communicating. So I feel like, well, maybe with this underlying energy, we'll find out what sparked this different approach they want to take with you here. I also feel like it not only has their mentality changed, because something, well, I'll figure this out. There's something that's really sparked them wanting to reconcile would probably be a stretch, but they at least want to open communication differently, not arguing and like they normally do. But I feel like they'll reach out to you another way, either by email or letter, like in the olden days, something where if you're not going to accept them a phone call, that they will communicate a different way to you as well. So 2 things coming in with that. What are their thoughts around the situation? Right, we did thoughts first, right? Yeah. Ace of Pearls, Ace of Cups, and the 6 of Pearls, 6 of Cups, the child energy, the mother, daughter, child energy. The Ace of Cups is self-love energy. And it does feel like, again, this might be a stretch to imagine, but it feels like they're getting in tune with their self-love. They're realizing, wow, how they were expressing all of this self-loathing and how it spilled out onto her children. And I feel like she's trying to reconcile, keeps on coming up, but it's more so like, it's like if someone's going to AA and part of the 12-step program is to ask forgiveness or reach out and try to make it right with people. And I feel like that's a little bit of that kind of energy that's coming in here. Again, we'll find out more here with this underlying energy, but I feel like that's their mental process, is I want to make this. I don't feel like they are thinking I can make it right, but I at least can let you know that I loved you, that I did things that were, stupid because I didn't know um, what I was doing. Um, and I'm sorry, kind of energy that comes in with this. So, wow. I know. I'm wanting to get to that bottom to go, what has started all this, right? What about their feelings? Let's see what's going on here. Ooh, so we do have the death card coming in here and the sun card as well. Inner child, Leo, brightness energy. They are going, they're going through some sort of renewal. Their emotions are going through some sort of renewal. There's light that's being shown on their emotions, even into the corners of things. So two major arcana with their emotions, they're going through a huge emotional transformation. I'm wondering here, because at first I was thinking, yes, right? It's like, are they dying? Do they find out that there's something going on and it's shocked them into reality, like, or they had a near death experience, or they had a death scare or something, or someone died, to where there's like they're going, oh my gosh, it's like whoosh, whoosh, a big, whoa. So let's see here. Let's see what the underlying energies are here. We do have the Three of Treasure, the Three of Pentacles. It is community, it is group. So I wonder if there's some sort of group therapy, or maybe it is like an addiction counseling, or AA, something along those energies. Let's see what else is here. We have the Strength card, finding their inner strength, fighting and finding their inner courage to face their demons, and the courage to face their past. Wow, that's kind of like whoa. And then the Devil card. Yep, Saturn, Capricorn energy, the shadow work that's coming in here. So really, I feel like there is this change that's happening, that's coming in here. But at least you have information on what is happening here and why. But it's all coming back to the original Six of Spears, the Six of Swords, which is their mindset is changing. So they're letting old ways of thinking, going old ways of acting, and making choices from fear, and looking at them from a different perspective. So there's been some growth with them. So, at least you know what's happening there. Doesn't mean you can still say,
this is my last word. No!
if you want. There's no expectations. There's no wrong choice. And you can wait till they reach out a different way, which I feel like they will, either a letter or an email, something along those lines, and see what happens. Let's see what the art therapy card, I always get excited for these for you, because I know maybe you get some new ideas for your classes and stuff too. But it's a great deck in case you wanted to see it again. Here's the what it looks like. I got it off of Amazon. And it was on sale too. Might still be. Anyway. Wow. So torn tissue abstract. What a great picture of your relationship with her, right? So the goal for the activity is to let go of perfectionism and expectations. The medium is mixed media, and the time commitment is 20 minutes. Of course, it says tear tissue paper into pieces to combine into a layered abstract over paper. Notice how adding multiple layers changes color combinations. Cover with decoupage medium to seal. And while working, tune into your breath and turn off your brain. The hint is to let go of expectations of how your art will turn out, and simply enjoy combining colors and shapes. So I like that, like letting go of expectations around this mother character and just allowing it to be what it is, realizing that, all of us, in all of our actions, we did the best we could in each moment. Um, and this is especially good for us to know that any choice I make in my life, I make with my current belief systems and thoughts and stories, also the energy that's around me and where I'm at in my life. We always do the best we can with what we have and know. And of course, we learn and grow. So later in life, we look back and go, I would never do things the way I would do it before. So there's that kind of energy here. Explorative questions you can ask yourself. How did it feel to let go of how the tissue paper would tear? Was it easy or difficult? And if you view your artwork from a distance, does it change the way you see it? If you could give your artwork a title, what would it be? It's interesting. That middle question standing out. It's like saying, if you view your mom and your relationship with her from a distance, does it change the way you see it? Or is it still, even though the relationship with her you're keeping at a distance, physically, it's still right here, right? So interesting. Right, so that's number one. I know. All right. So let's move on. Thank you for your second donation. And you want to know what are K's thoughts on you? Is he going to plan a date or what? And then will the date with P Wednesday go okay? It's funny. I have a friend of mine that I do readings for, and she also uses initials for the alphabet. But it started off, it was like A and it was B and then it was C. And I'm like, are you going through the alphabet? And she's like, oh my God, no, I wasn't thinking I was. But there's like all the letters. And I'm like, you skipped J. Where's J? So that's funny. Let's see what we got here for you. So Sean, what are K's thoughts on you? So let's take a look here. Their current thoughts, what's going on inside that brain of theirs. Okay. We'll also look into their emotions while we're in there. While we're under the hood, we'll jump down there for emotions. Is it going to plan a date or what? Let's see here. And actions. And then will the date with P on Wednesday go okay? We'll also look at current energies. Based on that, what are we looking at with that one? All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so we've got K. This is their thoughts. What are they thinking towards you? We have the Knight of Pearls, the Knight of Cups. So that's a good thing here. Nine of Coral, Nine of Wands. So they do have this, yeah, I want to move forward emotionally. There's this, the Nine of Wands is like a barrier. I feel like there's something that they feel like they have to get through there mentally. It's like I've got to get past this so I can move forward emotionally. This is what's going on in their head. Let's see what their emotions are saying here. I got the Three of Treasure, Three of Pentacles. So they do see you as someone that's unique and different and true to your authentic self. You don't put on airs and pretend to be someone else. You're like, here I am. They like that. The Nine of Pearls, the Nine of Cups. Just emotionally, their heart feels like very, it looks like an emotional dream come true. So their heart feels like, yeah, right? And the Empress too. Yeah, that makes sense. So all that emotion that's there. We've got all this sensuality and this birthing. Great energy there with their heart. So it does feel like, I'm wondering what this Nine of Wands is. What's holding them back? What is keeping them? But it doesn't feel like, because the Nine of Cups, their thoughts are, I want to get past all this beginning stuff so that the heart can really have what it's wanting. So it's like there's like this, they don't like the beginnings of stuff and blah 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 kind of energy. They're just like, ugh, you know, um, they it's like the first dates and the first getting together stuff. They're just like, they don't like that. They like when we get to the the other side of things. So let's see here. We do have the 10 of Spears, the 10 of Swords. So are they going to take action? There's this expectation thing here, and I feel like they will, but it's like, this is one of these things that we're learning, right, about expectations, going, are they ever going to ask me out? Are they going to do this or what, right? There's that lack energy, and it's teaching us that, wait a minute, when I start going, here is what they should be doing, and especially learning that patience is a lack energy. I was like blown away when it came through a reading. I'm like, what? Explain that. But patience is, this is something they should have already done. So there's this lack energy. Like they need to catch up. They're already behind. That's, I'm lacking, instead of going, oh, that's right. Let me switch around my energy. If I truly want something to happen between me and someone else, then I don't focus on what they aren't doing, because that pushes them further away. I really focus in on, what do I love that they are doing and have done. Then that draws in more of that energy, and that's an attraction energy instead of a repelling energy. So I feel like they will, but it's about your energy, because this is that wall. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm glad they're the smart ones, right? It's like ding ding ding. That's the barrier too that's coming in here. It's your energy of expectation is what's pushing them away. And they're like, I want to ask you out, I want to move on this, but something is keeping me back. It's our energy that's doing it. So if you change that, watch what happens. This is that experimentation. Did we talk about something like this before? It sounds familiar, that you were going to be getting some experiments where you could try changing your approach and see how it suddenly alters what's happening in the outside world too. So interesting. And then let's look at your date on Wednesday night based on current energy. How does that turn out? You got the 10 of Coral, the 10 of Wands, and the 2 of Pearls, the 2 of Cups. So a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of energy flowing back and forth, but it's energetic and it's passion. Although the 2 of Cups is about emotional choice and important relationship too. So I feel like there's a bit of fire that flows between the two of you on Wednesday night. And there's emotional choice that comes into realizing I get to choose how I feel about any situation emotionally, right? The outside world doesn't determine my story that I put to it, my emotions, I feel, my energy, and my actions. I'm not at the whim of it. We're taught all of these rules, though, right? All of these supposed to be's. Well, and you can even think about, this is a good kind of maybe reflection, journaling type of prompt of, what do I think needs to happen in order for it to be a wonderful night? And write down all those expectations, right? Because that's what we're taught growing up. Well, a perfect date, a successful date means this. We get all this opinion from everywhere else, right? But it doesn't have to be, right? That's just what we're taught. That's all these stories up here circling. But I can, and that's that 10 of Swords, right? It's exhausting trying to live up to all these things of supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be. So I feel like they're saying there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of energy available for you guys, but the more you let go of expectations, the more it will feel like abundance, like a great time. So the way that looks, of course, is like um, with no expectations, they do this. Look at how amazing that is, right? But if this is the 10 of Wands, this is all the energy that's put in. It's like, wow, with no expectations, wonderful, wonderful, like, whoa, blew my socks off, right? But if I have, well, they should do this and need to do this and should do this and really needs to have this and really this, it's this much, right? Or as a lot of humans work, this and this and this, it's disappointing because they didn't give me all of this. They gave me all of this, but it still falls short, right? Oh, disappointing. They were so close, but let's say they match our expectations. Well, they matched my expectations. Oh well, you know, it was okay date. It's not like you're trying to run through the alphabet, right? Boom, 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 boom. I can't wait till you get to Zachary or let's see, what's a Y? Yosef. So I feel like that's what they have there for you. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here as well. What's right around relationships? Your Firminators is connection. Look at all this connection energy. Let's see what this says. I'm connected to the multitudes. Yeah, the entire alphabet, right? And I can access their support at any time. Even a stranger offers a sense of comfort when they smile at me or make a dumb comment about the weather. Everyone is waiting to connect. Everyone is waiting to connect. All I need to do is open myself up and pay attention. Note to self, work on witty banter about weather-related stuff. Yeah, connection. Everyone wants a connection. But there's also, we're all challenged with expectations as humans growing up. We're like, oh, but it needs to be this and this and this and this. And then we think we're supposed to do all this and this and this and this. But when we release ourselves and everyone else from expectations, we can truly enjoy a moment instead of feeling like we have to work so hard just to get up to ground zero, right? So that's what they have for you, Sean. So hopefully that helps in your adventures coming up here and the experimentation you can do. You can start your little journal. A, B, C, D, have little tabs. All right, let me try this on D. All right. Many blessings, my friend. Enjoy. Thank you again for your multiple donations. All right. All right, so we'll continue down. Let me take a quick sip here. And let me just see here. Hey, Star Ruby. Oh, you like the setup? Thank you so much. I'm really loving it too. Got a new little carpet. It feels very homey. I've moved my office around probably 5 times over a year, and this is, I feel like it, at least for now. That's anyway. So where we're at in donations, I have 4 coming up for Sudeshna, and then Alice, and then Miss K, and then the Gemini will do ×2, and then we have Holly, and then and then Star Ruby, and then we have, I believe this is probably Maria. Let me just double check. Yep, and then Maria P for via Z PayPal. So that's where we're at on donations so far. So let us jump in, and Sudeshna, you are up ×4. Thank you so much for your multiple donations. Let's give that your timestamps there. All right, so the first one here, let me get up here. There we are. Let's give that a love and a like. Hope you're doing well on the other side of the planet. And I want to know what major shifts are coming in your career and your love life. Ooh, all right, let's take a look. Hope you're doing well. Enjoying your international adventure. Ooh, is there an international adventure coming up? I was just thinking, like, because you're on the other side of the world, but now I feel like there's something more. Let's take a look. So what major shifts are coming in your career? Let's tap into that first based on current energies. I do want this one. I do want this one. And then this one here. Oh, there was another one. Okay. And then your love life. Let's take a look there. Okay. I do have those. And these two. All right. I feel like that's an underlying energy. What's this? Let's do it this way. That's the way they want to do it. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Page of Pearls, the Page of Cups energy that's coming in here. And this is a happy energy. And I feel like the underlying energy, like the message is follow your joy. Follow your joy. Why are you being so serious about career and about love? We can get so caught up in like, I need this, I need that, I want this, I want that, that we get sucked into the fear, into the lower vibration. We forget to have fun. And I feel like this is an energy of play and let's, move forward here. So I like that. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look here at career. What's coming towards you? You have the Queen of Pearls, Queen of Cups. Follow your heart with your career too. Follow your intuition, following your gut. I feel like there is this opportunity that's coming up. And this is like the big things that we're talking about, right? We've got this energy of alteration of stuff that happens that gives you an opportunity to go, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to head? Where's my heart leading me? Because I feel like you're going to have some choices that are coming up on different things that you can do. I think we talked about last weekend, they're bringing back about a change of in the business that you're in, they're restructuring and you still have a job, but I feel like they're like, well, you can go here, you can do this, or you can do this. What do you want to do? And you're like, oh, wait, can I have a moment to think about it? Yeah. Take the day, think about it. Just let me know by tomorrow, the end of the week, because we have to make decisions. The sooner you can tell me, the better. But that's when you go sit with your heart. You close your eyes, you open your heart, and you let your heart lead you in those directions. So I like that. You also have the Seven of Treasure, the Seven of Pentacles, which is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. So it does feel like in the current job that you're in, the current company you're in, it feels like things slow down because growth is slow and they are letting some people go. And it's like, well, there's not a lot of opportunity to move into other positions because they've eliminated positions. So it does feel like it's kind of a little bit stagnant feeling where you're at right now. And you have the Magician, but you have everything within you to make your dream come true with the Magician. So I do feel like you are going to get to this point, which we've talked about of, yeah, I think the current company I'm in isn't for me anymore. I've learned a lot and done it, but I feel like there's a different place, different choices that you make and different direction. You're choosing to go somewhere else with this energy. So I like this. This is significant because you're deciding. You're not waiting. I wonder if we're going to have that same type of relationship energy because this is about following your heart, and play is I'm not waiting around for a company to give me what I want or a person to give me what I want. This is my life. I'm going to choose what I want and I'm going to go for it. And I feel like that rolls over into both career and love. Now we'll look at love next here. You do have two. So again, I feel like there was an energy of you have two choices, right? With relationship energy. The current one, which I feel like is another one of your questions. I'm sure we'll tap into that. But that's them. And then the other one is the unknown, this one that you're kind of being nudged towards, right? We'll look at the underlying energy. So for the current love interest that you have in your heart here. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love Spirit. They just have messages so clear, right? The King of Wands and the Tower card. We had the Tower happen before with them a couple times, right? So they can't make it more obvious, right? They're like, when people are removed out of your life, know that it is for a reason. It's to open up space within your life, within your heart, for something that's more in alignment with who you are and where you want to go and who you want to be, right? So, boom, boom, boom. The other choice of relationship, you do have the Three of Pearls, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Coral, the Three of Wands, which is a change of direction. But these threes too are about group. And I feel like we've done a reading on your future love, and I do feel like we got the Three of Cups on them before too, about that you're going to meet them. First, you're going to have this friends group that are people that match you, and it's a different direction than you normally would be with. And you're going in, that's where you meet them through someone of this close-knit kind of besties, two besties. You meet them through them. I believe it was at a party or something that they invite you to, and you end up meeting a friend of theirs that also comes to the party. That's where you meet this individual. So it is significant, but it does take you letting the old go to make the space for the new to come in, because the new can't come in while you have a reserve sign. Someone goes, oh, there's already someone sitting at that seat, or there's no one sitting there, but there's a reserve sign, so you're waiting for someone. The energy doesn't draw them in to sit with you. But when you get rid of that reserve sign, throw it away, then there's an empty seat, and someone goes, hey, do you mind if I sit here? That's like metaphorically, not, well, maybe it is, reality too, where you're sitting at a table and they're like, hey, do you mind if I join you? And you're like, no, have a seat. It could be that kind of energy. Let's see what's below the surface. We do have the Judgment card here, which is about seeing things from a different perspective and following a calling and being drawn somewhere else. Again, this kind of energy that's coming in. So you do have this huge event that's coming up, and it'll just get more and more extreme until it's time to, jump to, uh, on the other path towards the other person. Hey, Nelia, good to see you. See you this evening. All right. So let's see what your first fortune cookie is. I can talk. That's going to be from the art therapy, and then the other ones will be from the affirminators. So let's see here what little art project that they want to bring in here. I feel like it's this yellow one. Yeah. So we've got inner child in charge. Here's that go play dates. The inner child. Why are you being so serious? Let's go play. So the goal for this activity is to explore memories and get to know your desires. And the medium is writing. Time commitment is 15 minutes. And the instructions are, what would your inner child do today if they were leading the way? Write about this for 15 minutes. And if you feel your adult mind coming through, don't listen. Let your inner child lead the way, even if it feels silly, and be as detailed as possible. Some questions you can ask yourself: did anything about what your inner child wanted to do today surprise you? What feelings came up? Did they teach you anything about your desires? And are there elements of your inner child's day you would like to incorporate into your day today? I feel like that's about that play. It's time to play and not be so serious. And here's like a little letter, an example of it down on the bottom there. So that's what they have for your first one there, Sudeshna. So here we go. And let's dive in deeper here. So we'll go on to number 2. Let's give that a love and a like. So again, thank you for that second donation. And then you want the current feelings and thoughts of T towards you. Yep. Any next actions towards you. Besides being hit by a lightning bolt and being blasted out of your life. That Tower card, I just, blown away. All right, let's see here. What are T's current feelings and thoughts? Feelings and thoughts, and then any next actions towards you based on current energy. We'll look at that one. Okay, I don't like that one, and this one too. All right. So, thoughts, first of all, we have the Page of Pearls, the Page of Cups. And these are feelings of wanting higher love, wanting different love. It's interesting. That's the card we got about your inner child, about, I want to go play. And even on the bottom of the deck, you've got the Six of Cups, child energy. It's like the inner child's going, they're not a playful person, and it's like your inner child is kind of hijacking your reading, going, we don't want to know about their feelings because that's not what we want. That's funny that that's coming in that way. But I do feel like, in all seriousness, because the inner child is like, let's go play. What are we doing focusing on them? Let's go play. Let's go do something we love. Let's let them go. Let's focus our energy. And it's like a little kid when the parent is like talking to someone on the phone and doing something, and like, waiting to go to a movie or going to the park, whatever. Like, let's go. Well, I got to finish the dishes first. We can do that later. Let's go play. Let's go. The little inner child. It's all about the play, the fun, the adventure, not that we're focusing on that. Let's go this way. Right. So I feel like that's the energy that's coming in here. But the energy I am picking up is that they are looking for something, love of a different kind, love of a different level, love of a different type of energy. Not with you, though, but they are looking for something that matches all of this other stuff that needs to happen there. Feel like it has to do with like spiritual belief systems and all that too, that they see that for love, that there has to be, I want to say, cohesiveness with like their mother, and because that it's very important that they get along with mom and family and all these belief systems. They're like, it has to be someone that wants to go do all of this with us. So there's this, don't go on a date with someone who won't make the perfect mate kind of energy. And they're like realizing that would always be something that seems like it would be a barrier between the two of you. So that's why they are looking for higher love with that. That's one of the things. They're thinking, their thoughts towards you here. Yeah, the Nine of Coral, the Nine of Wands. There is a barrier. There is that block. So they do feel like, in their regards to you, there is this energy that like, we're never going to get past this. So that's exactly what I was picking up. I just hadn't turned over the card. Let's see. Next actions. We have the Four of Pearls, the Four of Cups. That's that flatlined emotional energy. We've got the Seven of Coral, the Seven of Wands. This, I need to be true to my authentic self and not defend who I am, not dim my light, not ask permission to shine kind of energy. So this doesn't feel like there's action. Oh my gosh. And just as a reminder, the Tower came up again. You can't make it up. I don't feel like there's going to be next action. I feel like they are being removed you're being removed out of each other's lives so you can move forward into relationships that align more with who each of you are, so that you both can find this emotional stability where you both feel like you can just be yourself and not feel like there's parts of you that you have to kind of pretend or shrink around, right? You have the King of Pearls, the King of Cups. There is someone that's compatible. That's that they're coming after the Tower. And the Judgment being called forward. Again, this is the card you got in your first reading. But you're being called forward to someone who is more compatible. That's what all of this is here. So I don't feel like there's going to be a next action, but it's happening for you and both of you to be able to move forward into someone that just fits like a glove, where all of your beliefs, everything just mesh. There's not something that you feel is missing or that you have to change about yourself. The person of the future that you meet, there you just feel at ease and comfortable with them. So that's what they have for that. Let's see what the fortune cookie is for this one too. So what else here? Yeah, impermanence. Here comes the tidal wave. Oh no. Life is always changing, and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more good times will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. So there is all that change. I just feel like it just reinforces everything that we just mentioned here as well. All right, so that's for that one. So thank you for that second donation. And then number 3, let's give that a love and a like since it lets me. And then we want to know, how will cyber security be for you if you want to pursue the technology in your IT career? So what would that, learn that, and also if you learned it and took jobs in that, how would that look for you? All right, absolutely. Let's take a look, see here. All right, so cybersecurity, let's step into those pathways. What kind of energy does this bring you here? Okay, these two as well. All right. We do have the bottom of the deck is the Four of Pearls, the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is an energy of it, it brings you to a new level of emotion, but then it also levels off. That's kind of like the boredom, stagnancy kind of energy. So I feel like it's exciting for a little bit, but then you get bored with it. You do end up moving on with the Knight of Cups, which is an emotional movement. You move into something that's more in alignment with your heart, which we got that message in the first one, right? Around career is there's something that you choose that really following your joy, you end up going in that direction. Let's see what else it brings here. Yeah. Do you have clarity that comes in through all of this, like pursuing cyber security? And I feel like it's in the pursuit of it that you find a different direction. What I'm getting is like, they're bringing up an example of, I had a couple of friends who were going to medical school to become doctors. And of course, in the beginning, when they're first starting doing all their medical training and all that, they kind of have to start off declaring, like, I want to be a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon or general healthcare, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They start off in a direction, but as they're taking classes, they know this, and it's kind of medical school. They kind of know that as you get into learning about things, you find your niche of, I want to be, a neurosurgeon. They want to do this. They want to go this. They want to go this direction. And that's what I feel happens here is cybersecurity. As you go in to start to do some classes and stuff, there's something, stuff that you learn that you're like, okay, I'm going to I'm going to head off in this direction. Like specialties and different things. Maybe it's not cybersecurity. It's something that in IT that it triggers you, or even maybe outside of IT. I don't know. I don't know it yet here, but I feel like you learn it as you're going through it. So the pursuit of it helps here. You have the 5 of treasure, the 5 of pentacles. There's this belief in lack and it not being enough, not having enough. It just feels empty. It's like you're going to go do the cybersecurity and you're in there. You're just like, it's not there. I don't feel this draw. I feel like, yeah, I could do that, but it doesn't bring you to life, kind of energy. You have the 8 of spears, the 8 of swords, which is you do learn here. Here's this movement of mental energy. So you do learn through the process. You let some old ways of thinking go and it allows you to move forward. Yeah, again, the devil card, long held beliefs of supposed to be, should be, need to be. A lot of this release of expectations and clarity that comes in. Yeah, and like love, you have the calling card. There is this pull of your heart, both, like I said in the beginning, in career and in love, that you're being drawn to something from your heart, getting out of your head of a lot of expectations of supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, the brainwashing and conditioning that you grew up with, which we all did. And it's about getting clarity around what is it that I want, not what everyone else wants and what everyone else's opinion is. So it's spending time with your heart. But I do feel like, and I feel like you got that in some of the other ones before too, they're bringing back when we were looking at some different areas, that in the pursuit of different things, you discover what it is that really your heart is drawing you to. So I would definitely check out those things, and I feel like taking a class, taking action, you realize I don't like this, but I'm going to head in this direction. You learn as you go. So definitely taking action, I feel like, is important. You have the story of your life. What story do you want to put? And that's the expectations. What story do I have on what my life is supposed to be? Get out of that story and realize you are the one that gets to write your story, no one else. It says, as I tell myself the story of what's happening in my life, I choose to make it the kind of story where even the tough parts have a sort of inner beauty. It's ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. And let me tell you, it'll be worth it when I earn the Pulitzer Prize for Best Inner Monologue. So it's about understanding all these thoughts that are driving you and kind of pause them, step out of your brain, go down a spiral staircase to your heart, knock on it. The heart answers the door. Come on in and have a little tea time with your heart and discuss what is it that you want, to do and express this to the world, right? So I feel like that is what they have for you for that one. And we'll move on to number 4 here. So, hey, Lucky, hello. Anyone else that I missed too? Maria, hello, Maria, and Holly. Everybody, good to see you. Olivier, Magara, hello, everybody. Sassy Libra, hello. All right, so we'll continue down here. So for number 4, Sudeshna, thank you again for your multiple donations. We'll give that a love and a like. You want to know how will be the upcoming week for you? Any guidance? All right, let's see here. Based on current energies, what does this week hold, or what does Spirit want you to know about this week? We got this one. We're doing these two. We do this one, and then this, and then this, and then this. All right. Wow. Yeah. Sorry, I'm falling off my chair. There we go. We do have the King of Wands on the bottom, the King of Coral, and the Ace of Coral, the Ace of Wands underneath that. All of this Wands energy is about action and the need, no, need is kind of a strong word, because there's no right or wrong, but there there's this draw to make choices, action, decide for you what you want to do. It's very supported this week. We'll put it that way. Making action, taking action, making decisions, stepping back. Like the King of Wands, steps back. Everyone else's opinion, you know, all these self-appointed advisors over your life, realizing it's my kingdom, it's my life. I have to live it, and everyone gets to live their own life and make their own choices, but I get to choose. So making a plan, putting action plan together, and then start taking action toward it. Very supported this week coming up for you. What else do we have here? You got the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, choosing from your heart, right? So making the choices, again, this nurturing of self, not doing it, well, I want to make them proud. I don't want to piss them off. I don't want to make this one angry. I don't want to make this one cry. I want people to be proud of me. I don't want to let people down. And what do people think? Blah, 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 blah. A lot of noise. And no one's ever happy forever. We're always going to disappoint them in some way, somehow. So live your life and let everyone else deal with their own disappointment, right? But don't disappoint your heart. Follow your heart. You also have, the Five of Pearls, the Five of Cups, the power of emotional choice. I like this, that you get to choose how you feel about any situation. So yeah, there's no wrong choice. I could choose something that brings me a different outcome. It brings me different experiences. And I can choose lower vibrational or higher vibrational, but there's no wrong choices that we make in life. That's what keeps us from making choices, is the fear of making a wrong choice. There's no wrong choice. The creator isn't like, oh, that's an F. You got an F for me because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It's like a grandparent taking a grandchild to a playground. They're like, go play. And you're like, well, what should I go play on first? Whatever you like. Where's your heart taking you? Go follow it and see where it takes you. And they're like, oh, no, no, no. There's got to be a right way here. Everyone says there's a right way to play on the playground. So what do I go on first? Is it the slide, or is it the swing, or is it the merry-go-round? What do I go on first? I'm like, there is no wrong choice. Where do you want to go? What interest do you have? Follow that. I'm like, oh, no, no, no. I've heard I must go on the slide first. Well, if you want to go on the slide, go ahead. And you're on the slide and you're like, this is boring. I don't like this. Because you like spinny things. You're like, that merry-go-round looks very fun. Follow your heart, right? This is what this is talking about. I like that example. Yeah. And yeah, you have the Two of Wands. Here it is. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands with the Nine of Coral and the Two of Coral. Making plans. Here's that King of Wands energy. It's when you're living your dream, you will always have the ability to persevere, because when you're living your dream, your heart's dream, then there is no failure. There's just a detour or something that you hit that you're just going to find a way around it. Because when you're living your heart's dream, you don't give up because it's your dream. When you're living someone else's dream, I tried, oh well, obstacle, I don't know what to do, because we really don't want to do that. We're not going to invest energy in it, right? So I like this. So this is good awareness for this week, just focusing in on, I get to make decisions for me this week. Yep, you have the Sun card, which is a success, a brightness. That is the play energy again. Child, plan some play dates with your child. Go do things that are fun. In those moments of fun, you'll gain clarity about what your heart really wants to do here. You got the Six of Wands, which is a flowing energy. There's all this victory energy this week. And the King of Treasure, the King of Pentacles, abundant. All this abundant energy below the surface. And that is something, when we're thinking about what we're wanting to do, a lot of what drives humans is, I want to be successful. I want to be seen as successful. And it's important to look at the difference between those two statements. I want to be seen as successful takes me out to that opinion world that long list of supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's. I want this person to see I'm successful. I want this person to see me as successful. But everyone's always going to look at a failure of some sort when they're in their human mind. There's this long list of expectations you can never live up to, and each of the people, they have different ones, even some contradictory ones. You'll please this one, you'll disappoint this one. You please this one, you'll disappoint this one. So in the end, it's like, what does success mean to my heart? That's the difference, right? And then that changes our attitude, and that changes the direction we want to head in. So hopefully that helps. I feel like this is a good upcoming week of an awareness, but definitely even, whoops, like the backs of these cards, it's like, go play, go enjoy, have this fun. It says, don't take it personally. It says, if someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yeah, that's probably it. I love these cards. They're funny. You realize when people are acting the way they are, it's because something's going on inside them. It's not about us anyway. So make decisions for you, I feel, is the big thing here for you. All right. So that is what they have for you, Sudeshna. Thank you again for your multiple donations there. I greatly appreciate that. All right. All right. So let me just put that in here. All right. So where we're at for donations, we'll have Alice up next, then Miss K, Gemini, the Gemini ×2, then Holly, and then Star Ruby, and then we'll Maria P ×2. So thank you for your dual donations there. All right. So that is where we're at. Let me just make sure I'm all set here. All right. So let's jump in. So Alice, let's grab your timestamp. Thank you guys so much for your patience in getting to your donations. I greatly appreciate those, and to your readings. That's what I meant to say, not your donations. All right. So Alice, let's get up here. There we go. Thank you for the banana peel. Whoa. And for the donation, I want to know, how does RJC feel about you and the future of your connection? All right. Let's take a look here. So, first of all, how do they see you? Okay, so what's their perception? Of course, their perception's through their dirty glasses of their own life, right? So we always take that with a grain of salt, right? So there's just one for that. Let's see, how do they think? What's their brain? Is that hold here? Scary place. Just kidding. How do they feel about you? So we'll tap into their heart based on, all this is based, of course, on current energies. That's feelings. That's below the surface. And then the future of your connection based on current energies as well. Okay, thank you. All right. What do we got here? So how do they see you? We'll see that here. Well, the Magician. Someone very fiery, very motivated, very capable. It's like the Queen of Wands energy, where, you have fire, even though this is air energy and like Mercury energy, but there's this, you have the mentality and the ability to make things happen, and the energy to put behind your intelligence to make things happen. So they see you in this way of going, wow, you're really motivated and capable of accomplishing whatever you set your mind to and whatever you want to. So that's like a perception. Now, I feel like they see that really stands out because that's something that they recognize that they want for themselves, that they don't have a whole lot of. And they see that you have that because they're like, ooh, that's something that I would like to have for myself. So that's a lot of why they see that. Now, how did they think about you? What are their thoughts? You got the Eight of Treasure, Eight of Pentacles again, which is someone who puts in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and gets stuff done. Productive, successful, driven energy. They see you here. Seven of Pentacles. That's the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. What's underneath that? And the Two of Treasure, the Two of Pentacles as well. There's this balancing and weighing out. A lot of Pentacles energy here. And I feel like a lot of their thoughts are centered on, it almost feels like their mind is a bit competitive, like you are doing a lot of the things and have the ability to do things, and I want to be like that too. And it's almost like their mind has them in competition with you in a way of like there's a fear that's there that's really standing out about the balancing of these two pentacles of I want to be the one who is, it sounds kind of, I want to say chauvinistic in a way, but it's like I want to be the breadwinner. I want to be the one who is more successful so that I can care for someone. So when there's someone that is capable, it's like this little, there's something below the surface that triggers in their mind about I want to be, the one who is more capable and more successful and, makes them more money and brings in the abundance more. Not that they don't want you to be able to do it. It just, in the competition that's going on in their head, they need to be the winner. That's their head. That's their thinking. That's mindsets. That's expectations. That's conditioning from growing up. Their father, the masculine influences on them probably taught them that. But let's look in their heart, right? Let's see, because the heart always eventually wins over the mind, eventually, right? But let's see what's in the heart here. So we've got the Nine of Pearls, Nine of Cups. So the heart does see you here as this, dream come true from a heart standpoint. The 10 of Pearls, the 9 and the 10. Great amount of emotion that's here coming in here. So heart is full towards you. The heart is like, oh my gosh, you're the best thing ever, right? Below the surface here, the Four of Pearls. And the Four of Pearls, this energy of, it almost feels like containment in a way, because it's like, Four of Cups is like, it's not boredom, it's showing flatlined, like, and I feel like you're like, wow, really? I'm surprised they have that much emotion because they don't show it. And that's what that Four of Cups is saying is, yeah, they learn not to. Again, this influence I feel of the masculine energy in their life was don't show your emotions. That makes you vulnerable. It makes you weak. It makes you where people can get at you. You've got to show no emotion because then people don't know what's going on and they can't hurt you or manipulate you if they don't know it. You're vulnerable if you show your emotions. And so till they feel secure, then they like if they feel they can trust someone. But I feel like it's like a great amount that has to happen before they share those types of emotions that are there. So hopefully that makes sense. Right. And then based on all of this energy, the future of your connection. All right, let's see what we have going on here. We do have the Three of Coral, the Three of Wands, which is a change of direction. And we'll see what this is here, but this is you with you getting new information and new awareness. You change direction. Let's see what that is here. Yeah, the Eight of Swords. This is you letting go of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore. And then the Lover's card. Well, there you go. Future of the connection here. There is this in this energy doesn't feel like you change directions and go away from them, but with this new information, this new awareness, you're letting some expectations go, some thoughts and beliefs and mindsets about who they should be, how they should act, how a relationship should be, who you should be, really letting some of these restrictions and stuff go to where a change of mindsets does allow you with current energy to get into a lover's relationship. It can move that way, but it does take you going a different route and things unfolding differently than you had expected and how you've grown up as well. So it's about having an open mind as you go forward. But I do feel like there needs to be some of this letting go of expectations on both sides, because getting to the root of an understanding through communication and through curiosity. Why do you feel that way? Where do you think that comes from? Why do you feel that's important? Asking them questions around, well, I need to make more money than you do. Well, where does that come from? What does that mean for you? And just to understand it, not going, you're wrong, that's stupid, you know, that's all 1930s energy. What are you, an old man? It's not that. It's, being curious and helping by asking questions. They get to understand it more about themselves, and you get to understand them too. And then you can make a different choices with that. So I like that for you. All right. So that is what they have. Let's get you your fortune cookie, which is through the art therapy cards here. So let's take a look. Wow. An intention collage. Card number 40. Sorry for the glare there. The goal for this activity is to get to know your desires and set your intentions. The medium is a collage, and it's a 1-hour commitment. It says, collect magazine clippings to represent things and states of being that you want to call into your life, tuning into your senses. And then glue the clippings onto the paper. If desired, use a paintbrush to seal them with decoupage medium. The hint is place your collage somewhere you'll see it often. Explorative questions you can ask yourself are, what part of this vision seems most possible? What part seems least possible? Does this provide insight into what you want to work on? What do you feel most grateful for in your future as depicted? And then what's one step in that direction that you can take today? Of course, they give you a little example if you can see that picture there. It's not very clear, but it's like all this stuff, right? Representing your intentions and desires and what do I want in my life? Not what I think I'm supposed to want, but what do I want? Creating a vision kind of board around it, right? So I like that for you. That's what they have for you, Alice. Thank you again for your donation. Many blessings to you. All right. Let me see here. There we go. All right. And Miss K, you are up next. Thank you for your donation. Let's put your timestamp out here. All right. We'll give that a love and a like here. All right. I wanted to know here how your Taurus friend feels about your connection now. All right, we'll do a check-in here. Let's see what we got going on. All right, Taurus. So we got that. Let's see what we got here and this here. All right. All right. Well, the bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Pearls, the Knight of Cups coming in. That is movement of the heart. It's romantic energy that's coming in here. Let's see what else we have here as well. So we do have the Wheel of Fortune, along with the Queen of Pearls, the Queen of Cups. So there's this energy, they do feel you as someone who has a huge heart. I think we get this card in your readings around them and how they perceive you. At least that's what I feel. And it's like they see you as someone who's very intuitive, very empathic. You feel people's emotions. You pick up on things. And it's fortunate. They do see it as nurturing, a huge heart. And they really see that as something that is a benefit. It is something that they celebrate about who you are. And they do love that emotions. And I feel like they know that sometimes you take on emotions and you feel things in a big way, bigger than they intended. Like if they say something that we can maybe blow it up and think they said something that was like, wow, I can't believe they said that to me, when they didn't mean it that way. And they realize we speak different languages of the heart. Um, or I'm not as fluent in the heart as you are, and so I say stupid stuff sometimes. And I feel like that that is what they realize that they do that. Right, what else is here? We got the Hanged Man, and along with this is the four, yep, four of coral, four of wands, joy, celebration, energy, and there is this transformative energy. I feel like there is something else that they're wanting to invite you to that's in the works, but it's a celebration, a joyful celebration of some kind, but they're kind of sitting on it right now, but they are going to bring it up and mention it to you as well. But I feel like they are planning on inviting you to something else, but they, you know how they are. It's funny because you do. It's like they're not a big uh, planner necessarily. They'll mention something like, like this road trip, right? Hey, I'm going to road trip if you want to go. Da, da, da. But the details, you're like, where's the details? I need the details. Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working on that. And they realized how frustrating that was. I feel like that they aren't very communicative, and that you might be more of like, details I need to know, like, we're gonna, when are we leaving, when are we coming back, or what's the staying, what's all this, I need to know how to pack because I pack a week in advance. There's all this stuff, and I feel like the details are slow in coming, but I feel like they learn through that, and they're like, well, before I mention this, I don't want to tell you too early, because then it's gonna, your mind's gonna be looping it for all that time. So they've learned, I'm gonna tell you things closer to it when I'm starting to figure stuff out, so that I don't drive you nuts. Because I feel like they feel like they realize they do that, which is good. This is good. Uh, this isn't acquaintance energy, right? This is like, I'm getting to know who someone is, and I'm adapting different things because I know my impact. So I'm realizing how I impact you. So I'm wanting to adjust things a little bit, energy. So I like that. We have the Seven of Spears, the Seven of Swords, energy here with the Queen of Treasure, the Queen of Pentacles energy. This abundance energy. There is this, the Queen of Sword, not the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Swords, sorry, is an energy of like lies and deceit and trickery and things. And they have that with their mom. The Queen of Pentacles is this mothering energy that I'm picking up with this. And they're aware of that too. And I feel like it's good for you to know that they struggle trusting females because of the experiences he's had, both with mom, but also with other relationships that he mirrored, meeting people like his mom, drawing that energy in. And so he got to experience it from mom and then from other female um, entities in his life. And so that's there. They, they, they realize this too. This isn't about you, but I feel like you need to know that, because they are aware of it, and they're trying not to put that on you, Although when they're in low energy, if they're in any fear, not feeling good or whatever, you might get some of that from them because of it. Just realize it's not about you. This is about mom and not you. So you don't have to take it personally. Just realize, okay, this isn't about me. I like that. So this is good energy. I feel like there's, it shows you the awareness that they have and that they're not oblivious to who you are and they're really paying attention to their impact on you, etc. And then you have the Six of Coral, the Six of Wands. So there's this equal passionate energy, this victory energy that's coming in here. So I do feel like they feel like it's mutual from where they're coming from, that they feel that way. So it's good. It's good energy to kind of look at that, Ms. K, of that you're like, really? They feel like it's mutual? Because from my perception, I feel like I'm, investing more or doing this and doing that, and I don't feel like it's equal. Well, that's good for us to look at whenever we feel, especially when we tap in and we realize, oh, they think it's equal, and you're like, maybe I'm overgiving. Maybe in my mind, I think that I need to do so much to deserve so little, and I have expectations on how things are supposed to be. Maybe I can question things and back off of things and allow us to give and receive to and from each other in a non-expectational way, if that's a word, and appreciation of what is happening instead of focusing on what's not happening. Because I feel like they are kind of more of with their Taurus Venus energy, they're kind of more in the moment, and I'm loving what's happening now. They don't focus a lot on what's not happening so much. But so I feel like that's something that can be looked at if that resonates. All right. And then let's take a look here. Ms. Kate, we got your fortune cookie is the art therapy. So let's see what else Spirit wants you to know here about your guys' connection here. All right. I feel like this red one is here. So you got the flow and paint, card number 8. This is the medium of painting. The goal is to calm through movement and art. Calm down, Miss Kate. Just kidding. The time commitment is 30 minutes to an hour. It says, start with a gentle yoga flow or dance movement for at least 5 minutes. You get to choose how long. Consider what these movements might look like if you imitated them in your artwork. So you're starting just doing some sort of movement, and then what would that look like in art? Were there were they flowy or sharp movements? Were they long or short movements? Which colors describe those movements to you? And then translate these movements into a painting. And then this gives you an example. So that's what, it doesn't have to be like, what? It's like, how did this feel, right? Questions you can ask yourself, which these can be, you can ask these questions about your connection with the Taurus too. How did it feel to tune into your movements and body sensations to create art? Did any emotions come up in the process? And how would you describe your feelings after this exercise? So some good reflective energies. I like these art cards. All right, so that is what they have for you, Miss K. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. Let's see here. So, okay. So we are to the Gemini. You are up for ×2. So let's grab your timestamp here. All right. Very good. All right. So let's take a look here. The Gemini. Thank you for your donations via the CashApp. So let's take here. So he got lost last night, huh? So no Sag last night. Is he even in Memphis or will he be? Did you check your Grubhub? You're like, what? Why is he stuck over there? Why didn't he make it? Let's take a look. So is he in Memphis? Like that song, was it Walking in Memphis? Or will he be? Let's take a look here. Do you have that? I just want to know why, where did he go? Why didn't he show up? We'll take a look here. Let's look at why he didn't show up first. See, we got the 6 of Pearls, 6 of Cups, the High Priestess, and the 5 of Spears, the 5 of Swords. So there is this energy. Ended up having to go into his High Priestess temple alone because there's something to do with the 6 of Cups is it's playful energy, it's child energy. But I feel like it's more like, because it wasn't, they were on their way to hang out with friends on the way. It's like, I got to stop here first. But the 5 of Spears, the 5 of Swords ended up being an argument and a disagreement. And he ended up needing to hold off and hold up where they were at with this High Priestess. So it felt like there was some disagreements and some stuff and friction, and it feels like they ended up having to stay there to work things out with their friends and probably a little bit of drinking going on. And this High Priestess is like they ended up having to stop and stay like at a hotel or whatever to, because they weren't in any condition to drive kind of energy is what I feel. So that's what I feel like interrupted them on their way, on their route. Are they in Memphis right now? We've got the Queen of Treasure, Queen of Pentacles. So this does feel, that would be an affirmative card, a yes energy. And I feel like they are there. Let's see what else came in here, because we have that. We have the 9 of Pearls, the 9 of Cups. I feel like they're in this alone mood. Let's see what else they have here. Yeah, the moon, Cancer, Mother energy, Mother Luna. What else is in here too? The 3 of Treasure, the 3 of Pentacles, community. Do they have family in Memphis? Is mom there? Because it feels like they did make it in there. They're in like Memphis today, but there is this mother energy, this group with the 3 of Pentacles. It does feel like it's community, but I feel like it's more family with all of this energy. And the 9 of Pearls is this, I've got to interact with my family and all this, but then they need some time alone through this, after this too, because the 9 is like a hermit's energy. And I feel like this big self-reflection energy that's coming in here as well. Oh, his mom lives here. Okay. So that's what I feel like is happening here. He lives in Nashville. Yeah. By this, it does feel like it is here with it. Because that Queen of Treasure, the Queen of Pentacles, is also mother energy. So I do feel like they're at mom's right now, and they are spending some time with family and all that. I do feel here a little bit of a celebration energy, but afterwards I feel like they're like, God, I need some time alone. After visiting with them. But it does feel here, let's see, does your other question talk about, yeah, we'll see. We'll dig into other energy here with your second question too, about when he asked what he thought, but also does that trigger anything else after he has his recharge time after spending all that with the friends and doing that, and then needing to recuperate a little more from them as well. Let's see what your fortune cookie for the first one is here with the art therapy, and we'll dive a little deeper into the second one here, find out what's going on. All right, do you want this one? Oh, he needs to come. Maybe that's what. Well, we'll see if that's what is coming in there. So you got cozy comfort. We like that. Card 75. To increase self-reflection and encouragement. It is mixed media. It says cut 2 pieces of fabric into identical shapes. Line up these shapes with the side you want visible on the inside. Let me see here. Oh, this is fabric, so it's creating like a pillow. Look at that. Even have a little heart. Oh, boo doo boo doo boo. A heart on a heart. So at least you have an idea what I'm trying to describe here. So it's line up the shapes with the side that you want visible on the inside. And then sew the fabric pieces together by stitching around the border about a 1/2 inch from the edge, leaving about 1 inch unstitched because you're going to stuff it. After sewing, turn the fabric inside out and stuff it with the cotton balls or pillow stuffing. On the paper, write something comforting to yourself and then stuff your message inside and sew the fabric shut. Hold your comfort object whenever you need to. I like that. You're creating a little heart to hold on to. Explorative questions you can ask yourself while you're creating that is, was this message something you needed to hear recently? Like you are unconditionally loved or whatever you feel like it needs to be said, right? If you knew this message was true, what would today feel like? And then if someone said these words to you, how would you feel? Wow, I love that. So a nice reflective little project you can do while you're waiting. All right. So thank you for your first donation. And for the second one as well, let's dive in here and let's see what we have here. So what did they think of the breakfast you posted? What did they think and how did it look to them, right? So let's take a look here. This, we got this, we got that. And then I just wanted to add on to the other one about will they visit? Will that spawn them to go, hey, I want breakfast? You're like, well, dude, get over here, right? He's picky. Well, we'll see here. So what did he feel of that here? Got the 6 of coral, the 6 of wands, victory. Dun, da, da, da. Oh, yeah, it looks positive. What else? Got the king of spears, the king of swords. Got them thinking. And the ace of cups. Yeah, happy energy with all of that. It did get them thinking. But it's victory. They liked it. And I feel like they were trying to figure out everything that was on it too by the picture. They were like, oh, that, and that. So I really very happy with it, with the Ace of Cups and the Six of Wands. It's a victory type energy. What else? What else? I told you maybe we're going to ask it to get them thinking about other things too. Let's see what that is here with these cards. Yeah, we got the Balance, the Justice card coming in here. It is an energy of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and that is some of that relationship energy, but it's they're like balancing of the scales, thinking about things. It's very mental energy. Page of Pearls, yeah, Page of Cups. So it did have them think about emotion and about heightened emotion. We got the 3 of Treasure, 3 of Pentacles. Did make him think of family and their community too. So I feel like the breakfast feels familiar. Like it'd be what I saw in my head, which doesn't mean it's this. Just it was like, oh look, there's grits and there's jambalaya, and for some reason I'm getting like this really Louisiana flavor, that they're showing me in my head. But it's like that's what it would be. It's like, oh wow, you got this, energy here. Yeah, and gravy, right, John? It's like, oh, yum, 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 yum. It's like biscuits and gravy. But it's like the stuff that's like reminds me of my family, my childhood, And I feel like that's the kind of, when they saw it, there was some of that familiarity with it too. That's some of the stuff that is coming in anyway. Yeah, and the Queen of Pearls, the Queen of Cups. There's a lot of emotion that comes with this, but it also is, that's the mama energy that can come in. It's like, oh, that's like what my mom would make, kind of energy. And it made him think of his mom's cooking. It feels like, but yeah, they liked it very much. But that Page of Cups, I do feel like, and I had that kind of feeling that what crossed their mind when they saw it is like, I'd like to have breakfast with you. And you're like, whoa, you play your cards right. You could. You minx you. So I like that energy. Yeah, even on the bottom of the deck, you got the Knight of Cups, movement of emotion. Yeah, right. So it at least looked like it. We're not going to say it's going to taste like it, but it reminded him of it. But a bunch, right? Let's see what the Ferminators comes into here. Ooh, spontaneity. I feel like you might get a sudden call. You're like, wait, what? It says, do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? The only acceptable answer to this question is a capital Y, capital E, capital S. So buckle up, Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space, time, and after hours hangouts. Yes will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible and teach you that lifelong friendships are sometimes lurking just behind a karaoke singer's mullet. And then it said, a little asterisk, there's a pretty good chance your name's not Charlie. But I like this because spontaneity, being open to, of course, hey, blah, 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 do you have time to get together? Yes, of course, is very welcomed here. But it's also an energy of focusing in on what you are grateful for. This energy of yes is, if I focus on what's not happening, what in the timing that I think it should, and the way it's supposed to, and these energies of need and want, those are lower vibration. We probably talked about that before. It's a good reminder, though, that when I focus on that actually pushes and it resists things happening. But if I focus on what I enjoy about someone, the time I have had with someone, the things I enjoy, I focus on gratitude around that makes me more accepting and pulling those things toward me instead of repelling them from me. So that's something to think about with all of that too. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, the Gemini. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donations and for your adventure. Now I'm hungry. Now I want some breakfast. I'm sure it was nummy. All right. You are very welcome. Thank you again. Good seeing you. Over there in Tennessee. All right. So we got those there. And let me just catch up here. Okay, we got those. Oh, okay. Let me just let everyone know where we're at on donations, so you know where you're at on the list here. Just get this one in here. All right. So up next we will have Holly, and then we'll jump to Star Ruby, and then Maria P times 2, and then to Sadeshna for 3 more, and then to Love is the most powerful force in the universe. Will be up after that. So that's where we're at on donations right now. All right. So let me scroll up here. All right. So Holly, let's grab your timestamp here. And just for everyone, whatever I complete during the session, I do put a pinned comment after the end of the session and pin it. to where I list all the readings I completed and timestamps. You just click on it, it takes you right to your reading as well. All right, so Holly, let's give that not timestamp, your donation a love and a like here since it lets me do that. So hello. So you're nervous about getting into college. You applied. How will it go? All right. Let's take a look here. See where we're going with the current energies. So hello to you, Holly. Let's see here. So how will it go? So this is application and getting in, and then we'll look at your experience based on current energies. Just a little bit of a sneak peek into your college experience here. All right, I do want this one too. All right, so let's take a look here. At the bottom of the deck, you do have the Two of Pearls, the Two of Cups. It's great emotional choice energy. I don't know if you applied at just one, but there does feel like there's two, maybe there's more than two choices, but this is talking about making a choice of following your heart. So if you have an option to go to more than one, it's about the mind is going to go, well, this is this and blah, 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 blah. It's going to have its opinion. But follow your heart. Where does your heart want to go? Because that's going to be your experience. And I feel like it's important to follow your heart in choosing to go to the place you're wanting to go, not the one you think you're supposed to go. That's that energy. Getting into college here, you have the Hanged Man. There's an evolutionary process here. And the Seven of Wands. I like this. This is about seeing things from a higher perspective. And the Seven of Wands energy is about being true to your authentic self and not dimming your light, not asking permission to shine, and not defending your actions, but you choosing for you. So I do feel that you get into one, but it's about seeing it from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, from a place of your heart perspective, instead of what everyone is saying you should do. Be like, oh yeah, this is like, if there's a school, a college that your family's always gone to, or that everyone thinks you should go to, it's what they're recommending, blah, blah, blah. But you're like, ugh, I want to go this way. My heart is drawing me this way. Follow that really strongly here. If you do that, I feel like this is the experience that you will have here. And let's see what we have here. You have the Three of Treasure, Three of Pentacles. Again, this place that you're true to be the authentic you, and the King of Treasure, King of Pentacles, abundance, fullness of life. So very much outside success, you do find your niche, a group of people with you being true to your authentic self, a group that you can be truly yourself with. And I like it. So you do find friends. If you're worried, I'm not going to get to know people, you will. You're going to find people that, a group that is like three peas in a pod or more, but it's like that kind of energy where you're just like, yeah, everyone gets it. There's people that have had similar parallel paths that you, as you growing up, and they get it. It's like, they're reminding me, like I went to a non-denominational high school for a few years when our church created a school. And when you meet people who also had that same kind of experience, or if people were homeschooled, and there's like all these different like experiences that if you didn't go through it, people can't really get it like people who have. And this is the kind of people that you meet, is people that get it, and you're like, oh wow, all right. So whatever that means for you. Let's see what else your college experience looks like right here. Yep, Queen of Spears, Queen of Swords, rules over education along with the King. Great balance between head and heart. So that's a good energy to have while in that learning. You're not like having a headache. You're enjoying yourself. Your heart is living. Your head, you're enjoying what you're learning. So it's a great experience so far. I like that. You have the Knight of Coral, the Knight of Wands, too. There's a little bit of passionate energy here, a lot of uh, just a lot of good, passionate, fiery energies, excitement. It's experiencing things. It's fun kind of energy that comes in here too. And so I like that. You have a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, a lot of activity there as well. You have the Tower card here too. This is good. This is not it looks scary, I know. The Tower card is, don't worry, things that are not meant for you will be removed out of your path. What is meant for you will never pass you by. Things will be removed out of your life to make space for things that are more in alignment with where you want to go. If you get a rejection letter from one, just know that that wasn't for you to go to that college. Or if you can't get into a class, or certain individuals don't pay attention to you, you reach out to them and they're just like, whatever, you're like, it's saving you from things that are not for your benefit and for your good. And so you can trust that things will be removed out of your way and that things will be moved into your path for you as well. So I like that. You also have the Six of Coral, the Six of Wands, victory. So success, you do well in your classes. So it's this feeling of fullness and victory again, like I said. And the Ten of Treasure, the Ten of Cups, joy, joy, joy. Really looks like if you do follow your heart and go to the place you want to go to, that you're going to just feel like, wow, I love this. I love this. It's such a great experience for you. So very positive energies for you here. So, you can focus in on, if we have fear and anxiety, of course, we feed that and we grow that. So instead, you can focus on gratitude for the wonderful experiences you've had in your life. You can ask the Creator, going, this is what I would love to do. Hand it over to them, knowing that, what's best for me will come my way, and release all that, surrender all of that to them, and realize that you get to choose the story, the emotions, the energy, your actions, and no one else's. And you get to choose the experience that you will have. And it feels very successful. So I like that. All right. Let's see what your art therapy card comes in here as well. Well, you have the envy monster. Interesting, right? These feelings that you have to be someone other than yourself as well, because that's a comparison energy, that I need to be like all these others. It's like, no, be true to you. We don't need more of those. You came here for a purpose, for your experience, not to duplicate what everyone else wants. You're your own little mad scientist in your own little lab, creating your own little mad scientist experiments. They're creating their own. Be true to you. I like that. Says the goal for this activity is to get to know your desires and set your intentions. The medium is sculpture, and it only takes 30 minutes, it says. So use clay to create a representation of your jealousy or envy in monster form. Ask the monster why they want what they are envious of. Keep asking until you get to the root. If desired, follow the package directions to bake and preserve the sculpture. Questions you can ask yourself: did you learn something about things that you're envious of? Could what you are envious or jealous of be a representation of a deeper desire? Can you use this knowledge to guide you toward what you really want? That's what we're talking about. What step could you take today? And look there, the example they give there. Doesn't have to be perfect. But I like this energy because it's like understanding we fear I won't be able to go where people are wanting me to go, like that person did or that person is or whatever. But that's about these beliefs, the core beliefs that we get down to in that is like, I'm supposed to be someone else than I am. Instead of going, yeah, when I try to be something I'm not, I do fear failing because it's not, it's like when you give a speech about something you don't care about, there's pressure around it. But when you give a speech, or like in speech class or whatever, when you're talking about something you love and enjoy, blah, 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 you're not nervous in it. The excitement, everything flows out. When we're talking about and doing something that we don't, then, that's what, unfolds with that. So hopefully that helps, Holly. I'm excited for you, but follow your heart. I like it. All right. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for that donation. All right. Hey, Shanae. Good to see you. Whoops. Thank you for your donation. So where we're at, we got Star Ruby coming up, Maria P times 2, Sudeshna times 3. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. You'll be up after that. And then Shanae will be up after that. All right. Let's see here. I'm at like 2 hours and 25 minutes. So I'll be on for about 30 more minutes. I probably won't get to any free readings today. So you can try tonight. And then if not tomorrow, for sure, make sure to come, because if you put your question in between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., or even before, I actually usually put out the announcement about an hour before. So if you put it anywhere in between that 4-hour period, it's usually around 10 a.m.-ish is when I post it. And when I close the session, if you get it there, I will come back on later that day and finish out all readings from that Sunday morning session. But this one, I probably won't get to any free readings here. I might even end up going to take a break to go eat and then come back on to finish out all the donations. But I probably won't get to any free readings. So, all right. I know, I'm so sorry. I try. All right. So we got Star Ruby coming up. Let's grab your timestamp here, Star. Let's put that out here. Boom. All right. Here we are. Let's give that a love and a like there. Thank you again for your donation. So you want to know, is he in love with you? PH, I feel it, but will he ever speak it? I know, right? Well, we'll take a look here. Let me take a quick sip. All right. Let me see. They want me to shuffle it once. Let's see what we got here. So, is he in love with you? Let's tap into their heart based on current energy. Thank you. What else? All right. This one here. All right. I feel like underlying energy. Oh, I guess another hidden energy there. And this one here too. Ooh. They want this one here too. All right. So a lot below the surface here. And then based on current energies, will they speak it? Will they share it? All right, I want those there too. All right. Well, the bottom of the deck here, Star Ruby, we got the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pearls. So that's movement of emotion. There is romantic energy there. So we do like that. Hey, Star Ruby. So let's take a look. Do they love you? Is there love here? We got the 6 of Wands, the 6 of Coral, which that does represent mutual energetic attraction, passion, energetic attraction, and the Magician. So there is definitely here with this Wands energy and this Magician energy, it really focuses in on, that passionate energy that's there. So we'll see what these cards are below the surface. This does not speak of love. That speaks of like attraction, right? Sorry. Some coffee left over. But we'll see here what's below the surface. Because what I'm picking up is there's someone that's been taught to keep their emotions deep, express yourself through intimacy, through passion, through action, through motion, but not emotion. We'll see if there's emotion there below the surface, but I feel like they're more likely to express themselves, at least in the beginning, through passion. Let's see what's below the surface. All right, yeah, Page of Coral. more passion energy below, which confirms it for me that that's what they were taught, is express yourself this way. And it can kind of come back a little bit on how much self-love they allow themselves to feel. I feel like they're kind of at this point in their life, at least, geared toward defining themselves by other people's opinions and actions and reactions more than, from that standpoint. So they don't allow themselves to experience and be aware of a lot of their self-love. So they don't have a whole lot of the love to give. That's why they give through passion. Let's see what else is here, though. And we have the Tower. They have had pain in the past when they trusted and gave their heart. It could be they had a loss when they were younger, like a grandparent, parent, sibling, some people, important people in their life, where when they attached to it, they left their lives either through death or through them leaving their lives. And so that's where they learn to hold back their emotion, because they experienced a lot of pain that way. Yeah, Queen of Wands, a lot of attraction energy here. Passion, 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 passion. And they have the Ace of Treasure, the Ace of Pentacles. So this does tell me about, this is the need to find their self-worth so that they can give that to someone else. They're able to give passion, but they're not really aware of their emotional sea that's below them. What's going on there? They're not allowing themselves. They're very disconnected from their emotional center. They're more in their the motion center. Intimacy is a lot of what they're have here. Let's ask though here. I feel like we'll find with these two cards, the below energy, will they ever share it? And I feel like these two on the bottom are, will they ever become aware of their emotions? They're aware of their strong attraction towards you, but it's more energetic and physical attraction because of the disconnect from emotion, if that makes sense. Let's see, will they ever act on in this? We got the Seven of Coral, the Seven of Wands, well, this Wands energy, and the Devil card. Capricorn, Saturn energy doing the work. This is about, I feel like they will share their passion with that Seven of Wands, because that's about being, not dimming their light, not holding themselves back, shining bright, shining their passion. So I feel like they'll eventually share their attraction. The Devil card, though, with the emotion, I feel like they have work to do, shadow work to do, to be able to access and drill into that underworld of emotion that's below the surface. It's like it's frozen over like the Antarctica. They need to drill to get to the water, to get to the emotion. Unless there's a global warming within them, right? Let's see here. Will they ever connect based on current energy to their emotions below the surface? Oh, see. Page of Cups. Yay, Page of Pearls. And the Six of Spears, the Six of Swords. Yeah. They will. There's movement from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking, calmer waters. I mean, from choppy waters to calmer waters. But that Page of Cups, they do find the pearl of their inner love eventually, that comes in here. So they will. Let me just see here. Anything about timing at all? Yeah, we got the Knight of Spears. Movement of thought and belief. They could really use some good counseling and therapy. And we got the Four of Pearls, the Four of Cups. I feel like it's going to be a while here, Star, because I feel like with these cards, once they get tired of the numbness that they feel, because when we disconnect our emotions, yeah, we don't feel all the pain and feel all that stuff. We don't feel all the good stuff either, right? We can have passions and urges and that, but the satisfaction and the joy and the love and all that we don't feel. And after a while, you just like the numbness, get tired of that. And then that's when they move to this Knight of Swords, which that's what I feel is like a movement of seeking clarity, or like, why am I so numb? Which does feel like counseling or books, at least, at the very least, trying to find out where's all, why do I not feel, why is nothing satisfying me in my life, job, relationships of all kinds, my possessions, my body, why is all this stuff, why does it feel empty, because we can have passion and we can have, intimacy and all that kind of stuff, but it's not true intimacy. It just feels empty. And I feel like they'll eventually ding, but it's going to take a little bit. Based on current energy, especially with all this transformative energy that we have going on in astrology these days, it's like next year is when it kind of becomes so much for them. Based on current energy, it could be this year, but I'm feeling like it's more likely into next year right now. But there could be a bunch of different astrology that comes into that just catapults them into that too. We got a lot of stuff going on this year. All right, let's see what else they have here. All right. So you got card number 1, like the Magician card, but the give and take. This is your art therapy card. It says, the goal for the activity is to give yourself guidance. You can do this through the medium of painting. The time commitment, it says 45 minutes. It says, trace each hand on paper with a pen or a marker. No, we're not going to make turkeys out of it. Remember when we used to do that? I don't know if you guys did that as kids. They'd have us do and make our hand into a turkey. That's the head, and these are the feathers. But this is different. In the outline of your left hand, write things in your life you want to let go of. In the outline of your right hand, write anything you want to call into your life. Then add paint to further express yourself. And that's what it can look like here. This is an example. And the explorative questions you can ask yourself: what thoughts come up when you think about what you want to call into your life? How about what you want to let go of? Are these people, places, or things in your life? Are there people, places, or things in your life contributing to these dynamics? And is there a small step you can take today? Interesting, right? I like that. Of course, the stuff we want to draw into our life, we start having gratitude around for what we have of that and have had. Things we want to let go of, we can look at how we can release and surrender those things. But when we want to draw things in, it's about gratitude for who or what something is or someone is, and what I have had in the past as well. So hopefully that helps, Star Ruby. That's what they have for you right now. I know. But you get to decide. You're like, nah, I'll pass. Or, I'll work on me and painting my hand pictures while I wait. All right. So that's what they have. So many blessings. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And then Maria P., you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. This is for 2. Get these down here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So we'll jump over here to the PayPal. Let's see, make sure I have them both here, right? Yes, here we go. All right. So let's give these a shuffle as I get something out of my eye here first. All right, there we go. Take a quick sip and we will jump in here. All right, so let's take a look here. Their thoughts and feelings towards you today. So thoughts and feelings. Okay, these are coming up together. And then his thoughts when you ask him, do I make you happy? Oh, God. Do you know how men hate that? We'll talk about that in a sec, I'm sure. They don't hate it. It's a trap. It's a trap. Does he spy on you? If so, where? Okay. Whoa. Does he know and feel you wouldn't go with another guy because you love him? All right. So there's the knowing and then there's the fear, right? So what's coming up for you at work? All right. This and this. And what else about Wally? All right. So let's take a look here. His thoughts and feelings for you today. You got the Knight of Treasure and the Hierophant. The Knight of Treasure, the Knight of Pentacles, is the slowest moving knight, right? It's about patience, energy that's coming in. And the Hierophant, that's actually Taurus energy. It's Venus, ruled by Venus. It's about seeing things from a higher perspective and seeing things at a higher and higher place. Looking at, I feel like he's really thinking about changes for the future. There's a little bit of a daydreamy kind of energy today where they're thinking about eventually what would they like to change? What would they like things to go? How would they like things to evolve? So they've been thinking about that today. At least that's the energy of this moment. No, we're not going to share anything with you around what his plans are because he's not sharing them for a reason, as we talk about, right? Because it makes you leap forward and you're like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen, right? It's like you don't tell a kid you're going to Disney World until the day before. Otherwise, they're going to be bugging you about it for all summer until you get up to that point, right? You know, you have children. Oh, I know. You don't tell them. Otherwise they're gonna be like, when are we? When are we gonna do that? You know. So I like that. That's funny. All right. So that's what they have. And his thoughts on when you ask him, "Do I make you happy?" We have the Seven of Treasure again, Seven of Pentacles energy, which is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. We have the King of Wands energy that comes in here. It is the power of choice energy. This is interesting, but it's because the Seven of Pentacles, when you ask him, do I make you happy? What he's hearing is he reads between the lines. Well, if I make you happy, why don't you do this? When are you going to do this? Why don't you do this? All those expectations, this push, this nudge of action. It's like, and that's why a lot of males feel like when they get asked that question, it is a little bit of lack energy that comes in with that, right? Someone asks you, do I make you happy? It's like you're looking for me to define you. I don't want that responsibility. I don't want your happiness to depend on me. And I don't want you to feel like your happiness, like my happiness depends on you. Because it's like, it comes down to self-worth and these feelings. It's all this mirroring that happens when we ask that. Do I make you happy? Do you make yourself happy? That's the real question, right? And that's what reflects back, and that's what a lot of people don't want to see is, am I happy? If you're asking, do you make me happy? It's like, am I happy? I don't want to think about that, right? Until I do my shadow work, and then I'll honestly ask that question. But if I'm not ready to answer that question, if I'm happy in myself, because you can't make me happy. It's a setup. Nothing in the world can make me happy unless I'm already happy on the inside. You can make it easier or harder for me to choose to be happy and to be happy on the inside. But you can't make that choice for me, and you can't be that for me. I have to be that for myself, and no one can be that for you either. So it's a good energy that comes in because it's a loaded question. That's why people don't like to hear that, because it's like, what if I'm not happy? Um, you know, um, because it represents fear. What if I'm not making you happy? Nothing you can do about it, because you can give someone the world and they can still choose to be unhappy. It goes back to a conversation I had with my mom, like 40, 30 or 40 years after they divorced. My mom still was holding this pain of, because my dad divorced my mom, that she failed, that she wasn't enough, that she didn't make him happy. She carried it for all those years, and I go, Mom, you're blaming yourself. You have like these things, and she goes, well, yeah, because if I made him happy, he wouldn't have left me. He wouldn't have wanted to be with other people and cheated on her, whatever, too. And I'm like, but if you were the cause of him not being happy, then he would have been happy with wife number two, or say X number two, X number three, and all the girlfriends he had in between, right? And this little light bulb went off that, yeah, that's true. Uh, and I'm like, you couldn't make him happy because he was unhappy on the inside, and you can't make someone happy if they're unhappy on the inside. If they're happy on the inside, then you're not making them happy. You're just being an extension and a reflection of their happiness. But taking that responsibility away, taking ownership for your own happiness. No one can make you happy. You can't make anyone else happy. That's only for yourself. So there you go. Does he spy on you, and where? Temperance, patience. Oh, I don't feel like they do. Three of pearls, three of cups. This doesn't feel like they spy on you. This three of cups is they enjoy who you are and enjoy the communication they have. But this temperance card is all this balancing energy. The real question that you can ask yourself is, do you spy on him, and how? And why are you spying? Why don't you trust, right? But they don't have that. They're focusing on enjoying whatever they can and balancing everything else in their life. They don't have time to spy. Does he know and feel that you wouldn't go with another guy because you love him? Yeah, the strength card. Yeah, the strength card is a positive energy. It's courage, it's strength. Um, but there is that monster below the surface, that doesn't have to do with you. It has to do with most people's fear of being rejected and not being enough. That's below the surface. That's with most humans till we do our shadow work, and he hasn't really done a lot of that yet. So there is that fear of rejection that's from their inner child below the surface. It's not personal. It's not that you would do this. It's that everyone does that, and they have done it, and he's done it, before. Um, so that's why they feel like it's a possibility, because they've been on both sides of that equation. But he feels like you wouldn't. He doesn't feel like you would do that. What's coming for you at work? You've got the 10 of pearls, 10 of cups. There's joy. That's good. Happiness. Something's coming in here. You have a death and rebirth. So it does feel like there is something positive that's coming up here. And you have the Hermit card too. Hermit card is a bit of an alone energy. I don't know. Are you going to be able to work from home? I don't know. But there's this energy of a change that's coming that does feel joyful. It feels allows you to feel more independent with this Hermit. But it does feel, the 10 of Cups does feel like a change that's coming, that definitely brings you a lot of joy and overflowing emotion. So something exciting is coming here. And that hermit card, that would be like, hey, we're offering work from home positions. I'll work from home, right? But if you're an introvert like me, I loved working from home. All right. Anything else about Wally, the Hanged Man? Yeah, he is transforming. There is this transformation energy that comes in with the Hanged Man. There is transformation, change, evolution. They're seeing things from higher and higher perspectives. So just there is change. That's the one thing about outside world. It's constantly changing, right? Anyway, so that is what they have for that one. Let's get you your fortune cookie, and we'll go on to your second donation here. And this is the art therapy, and then your second one you will have from the affirminators. So this one is, yep, you have to have it come in sometime. You have gratitude list. So all the questions that we're asking about them and everything else, that's noise, right? Come back to this moment, come back to the now, take some deep breaths and think about what are you grateful for in your life? What are you grateful about, Wally? Yeah. What you have had. What are you grateful else in your life for your children, your job, what else in your life? What are you grateful for? And I feel like this gratitude list will help. So the goal for the activity, of course, is to increase feelings of gratitude and happiness. The medium is writing, and only time commitment 15 minutes. The instructions are write down 5 things that you're grateful for today. Create small symbols to go along with each word, and see if you notice those symbols coming up throughout your day. Hint, make this a daily practice, using a journal to record your daily gratitude list with or without symbols. Questions you can ask yourself: how easy or difficult was it to identify what you're grateful for? Does your gratitude change with how you're feeling? How does being grateful change your mood? And is there a way to express your gratitude today? So I like that. All right. So that's what we have for the first one. And then for number 2, thank you for your additional donation here. Anyway, updates on the dark side. Okay. All right. So updates on the dark side. This is good that we go back to that gratitude energy, right? So based on current energy, the month he's making that move to get out of that house. So as we're focusing on that energy, what does that do? It pushes the date further out, right? Because that's that want and that need instead of the gratitude for what you do have. That's that focusing on what you don't have, right? So let's see what we get with that. What is it that he loves about you that makes him love you even more? All right. I don't want those. What is it about you that makes them love you more? Okay. I'll do those 3. All right. So update on the dark side. Yep. Queen of Wands, King of Pearls. Yeah. So you got that fiery Queen of Wands, that fiery fire starter energy. And you have the King of Pearls. That's the King of Cups, balance between their head and their heart. So, it doesn't feel like there's, and we had that before, like there's a lot of movement. He kind of keeps things balanced because there is this fear of their fire, fear of their wrath, fear of what they do. And so they've been, we talked about that they're slowly trying to make their way away from it. But they are so fiery, they're so vindictive that it's like nitroglycerin. You have to be very careful in handling it. And that's what he's trying to do, is be very careful with all that. Based on current energy, the month that he's making the move to get out of the house, we got the 5 of Pearls. And that 5, it's like, based on current energy, this would be like May of next year with this 5 energy, since we're in July. It's like making the move to get out of there. It's like slow motion movement to get out of there, right? Because it's been it's been a year since he's been talking about it. But there is this energy based right now. It's that slow movement of exiting out of there. And that's based on Kurt energies, because they do feel this. I gotta take my time with this, and they're so distracted, things all over the place. But it's like, I don't know what May of next year brings. It's like there's this waiting for something to complete to make sure that I'm able to leave and feel, good emotionally about it. But that is that fear of sorrow. It's the fear, again, he doesn't want to try to make anyone feel that way. He really hates that kind of, feeling responsible for someone else's sorrow. So that's why they're like trying to not rip the Band-Aid off. It's like a very slow removal of a Band-Aid to where there's not a lot of pain, is like what is the motivation based on energy right now anyway. What is it that he loves about you that makes you love him even more? Got the Four of Spears, the Four of Swords. Yeah, we talked about that before, right? The peace of mind, the place of like calmness, that it's a place where he can let his mind rest, is one of the things that he loves about it. So I like that, the peace of mind. We have the Five of Spears, which is the conflict between the head and the heart. But I feel like the Five of Spears is with the Four of Spears. Again, that's that energy of just the way that you help put his mind at ease. And there's peace of mind. It just brings peace of mind. And the Seven. So you got the Four, the Five, and the Seven of Spears. It has to do with conversation too. But you help put his mind at rest. And there's this lying, this cheating energy, the deceiving, the trickster, the secrets, and the conflict. That's what they're used to. But you bring this place of peace that's so different in the communication and the interactions, that's what they like, is the peace, the way that you can communicate and talk, and it's not all arguing and lying and deceit and manipulation that comes from rare. So it's one of the things that it's so different for them, that it's something that really is very attractive to them. So that's what they have there for you. Let's get you your last fortune cookie here too. Let's see how we doing on time. I think all right, here's your fortune cookie. We've got ideal partnership. Look at that. Wine and cheese. I am a rare and precious find. That's what we were talking about. And my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I'm paired with the true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. What? Avoid alcohol. Oops, sorry, a little pop-up came up. Get rid of that. Crackers and cheese, right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to be a whiner. You're so funny. All right. So that's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. Wait, let's see. We're at 3 hours here. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Got 3, 4, 5. I think that's all I have. Oh, nope. we have Sudeshna. He added another one on the bottom there. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm hitting my 3 hours right now. I'm going to end this stream, and then I will pop back on to finish out the 3, 4, 5, 6 donations I did not complete. Free readings I did not get to any in this session, but I'll be back tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. Mountain Time, and then also again tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you get your question in tomorrow for the free readings, I will come back in the afternoon for a special makeup session to whatever I didn't finish Sunday morning. I finished up, including all free readings too. So if you've been trying to get a free reading and wasn't able to get to it in this session or tonight's session, be sure to come back tomorrow and put your question there, and we'll make sure you get a message from Spirit. So I appreciate all the thumbs up, all the love, and all the support. I'll put a pinned comment for the readings I completed here in this session, and then when I come back on, and probably within an hour, I'm just going to get a bite to eat since I haven't eaten today. And then I'll come back on. There won't be any chat in that session, but I'll finish up those, and I will return. In fact, let me make sure I grab all of them. Here I'm all blabbing, and make sure I have all the questions here, because they will disappear from the chat. So let's grab here. So here is number 1, Sudeshna. Number 2. Here, let's see, we'll grab these down to here. Okay. And here is this one here. All right. Right. And then love is the most powerful force in the universe. Let me grab yours here. Okay. And that's those, right? Okay. And then Shanae, I'll grab that one here. All right. And then Sudeshna, your additional one here as well. All right. I've got all those. So I have all the questions. So I will return for those. Probably with, I would say, about an hour. Let's give myself an hour just in case. Because I have to heat up food and then clean this stuff out between my teeth, you know. But I'll be back on to finish that out, those, and then I'll be back tonight as well. So until I see you guys again, remember, every second of every day of your lives, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love, hang in there. Take care of yourselves. Remember, have fun. Because why are we being so serious? This life is a giant playground. Let's go play. All right. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.